Namaste, Kayan.
Namaste.
Welcome in our studio, and we will be very happy to hear your journey with the Master. Before you started, tell in short your life, how it was before you met Osho.
I was born in Germany in 1947 and in a middle class family, and I grew up very protected from the outer world, which was nice, but in the end I had to learn a lot. And I always loved to dance, but I never thought I was particularly talented, and so I never thought of making it a profession or anything. So as a teenager, I never knew what I wanted to do with my life. I had no idea. So I did beautician. And then afterwards I had a great job offer, but in that night I had a dream. And it was very clear I wanted to dance. So the next morning I went to my mother and said, I don't want that job, I want to dance. And she was like,
How old you were at that time?
I was 16, which is much too late to start dancing professionally.
And you had already finished your studies?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so my parents were totally shocked in a way, and then they called my old dance teacher. She was a professional dancer from the Opera House in Hamburg, and asked her what she thinks about it. And she said to them, I was waiting for your call for many years.
Yes.
And I was so surprised, So my parents allowed me to do that education, and after a while, after a few years, I went to Munich, to the university. They had also a department for dance, which was much better than the little school in Hamburg. And I finished there my education. And then I wanted to set a teacher on top, because I really liked teaching with little kids and things, but then I became pregnant, so I couldn't do the exams because there was 2 days before I gave birth.
You were already married?
No, I was not married. I didn't want to marry at all.
You had a friend?
Yes, okay. Yes. So, and then we moved to this farmhouse where I'm still living. We bought that with a few people together. And one autumn, everybody packed up his things and they all went to India, because at that time you could still go via car, bus, whatever, to India. Everything was still open. And that was the winter. I didn't go because I had the little kid and I had a job to look after a baby, so I didn't go. And then that winter it was snowing, and in the evening somebody knocked on the door, and there was a whole group standing out there asking if they could come in. And there was a whole scene in Germany from these land communities. And everybody had everybody's address and knew you could turn up there any time for help, for anything.
Okay.
So we didn't know these people, but the guy that was coming in, that I talked to, I said, just come to the kitchen. He took off his suit and he had this mala hanging there.
Osho's mala?
Yeah. And I had a experience years before that I made a headstand. I didn't know what to do. I was a bit bored, so I made a headstand, and suddenly I saw from far away this round picture of a face, like an Indian man or something like that. I didn't know at that time. And that really imprinted in my head.
Okay.
So in a way, I was looking, you know, and there were in Germany, there were coming these Maharishi, and all these
Gurus.
gurus, no, and was not it, no. Just to look at them, I knew it was not. And I also had a dream after that, that I was going with my friend, the father of my daughter. We were going in the dark with another friend, and suddenly he opened the door, and there was light in there, and there was a man in white sitting there, and everybody on the floor, and people were asking questions to him, and he was talking to them. So we were standing on the edge there, and at one point I was going there too, asking him something, and he said something, but I have no idea what it was. And I was sitting down then again, and next to me was a beautiful woman sitting. And what I found out later, that was Nita, the daughter of Mukta.
Okay.
That was at the time a little girl, but I saw the grown-up woman there, sitting there. And yeah, that was beautiful. That stayed with me too. No? So, but I didn't know who the hell that was, you know. And then when it was Siddhartha from that first center in Germany, when he was coming into our kitchen, I saw this and I went to him. I said, "Who is this?" You know? And then he was telling me a little bit and about his center too, and he gave me a little leaflet. And there was something, some quote from Osho. I don't remember what. I have no idea. But it just went in, you know, totally. You know? And then I knew there somehow I had to find out something about that man. So then, after the winter, the people that had gone to India were all coming back, and they were all in orange. They were all sannyasis. And before, nobody had known anything about Bhagwan at that time. So that was great. And then they were all sitting there and dyeing their stuff. We had an old farmhouse, and just one room was really warm, and that was a kitchen. So everybody was meditating, dyeing, everything was happening in the kitchen, but it was really cute. No? It was very lively, you know, brought some life in our house too, some beautiful life.
Unknown people.
No, that were the people from the farm, from our farm.
Okay. Okay.
So then the next year I went too. I flew with my daughter, because everybody was packing up again, comes autumn, no? Everybody making plan for Pune. So then I had a big operation, and I couldn't go with the bus because it was too exhausting for the body and too fresh up after the operation. So then the father of my daughter, he gave me money for a ticket for the two of us. And there was somebody else flying also later. So that's how I came to Pune. And
which year was that?
That was in 76, in the autumn of 76. Okay. And so we arrived there, the two of us, the grown-ups and my little daughter. And the next morning we were going to the ashram and looking around. No? My friend was gone because he had to meet all his friends and hear Osho and do all this. But Hasya and me, we looked around in the ashram, no? And found little friends for her, and I met Ashish. That was the first person I actually talked to in the ashram, because I needed some information. So at least I had one friend. But then, after a short while, you know, we knew everything around the ashram, and then my friend from the farm, he came to me and said, "Look, I can take Hasya tonight, and you can do whatever you want. Try to get a darshan or whatever, no? Because it was easy at that time. You didn't have to wait or do meditation camps or anything." So I went into that little office that was on the very left in Krishna House, a long room, and there was Lakshmi sitting there in the back. And so I asked, I would like to have a darshan, and she said, "Yeah, I can come tonight." And she
Before
asked
that
me,
you heard Osho? Before that you heard Osho
No.
discourse? Nothing?
No, I read something.
Okay.
No, because they had brought books from Pune.
Okay.
So I read something, but I haven't seen him. No?
Okay.
And my English was also not so good. No? And then she asked me, "You want to take sannyas?" And I said, "I don't know. I haven't seen him at all." No? And then she said, she made this. Was really cute. So then I just zoomed off, because we were still in a hotel close to the station, and to get ready. And when I came back, the bus had arrived with all the people, with the daddy, and so Hasya was totally happy. And they were all saying, "So after darshan, we go and take you out," and la la la. Okay, so I was happy that Hasya was taken care of, and then I went for darshan. No? And I'm going in, and everybody was running, you know, like, and there were only 20 people, you know, so anyway. So I was sitting somewhere in the back, and then Osho comes in and sits down, and Mukta is calling my name, and I didn't know what to do, because what does that mean, no? And then Shiva was there and trying to get me there, and I sat in front of Osho, and he said, "Close your eyes." He didn't even ask anything, and I did, and it was so right. Yeah, it was like, you know, yeah, coming home finally.
He gave you sannyas
Yes.
without asking you.
No, but there was no question. I don't know. You know, there was just I was there where I wanted to be, so I don't say no.
Okay.
And it was amazing. And he was talking to me, and I didn't hear much. I just got lost in his eyes, you know. And the funny thing was then my name, no? And I remember when he gave me the thing, so I looked at it, but I didn't see anything really. And then in the end he said, "Good guy." And I thought, what? I'm not a guy?
Right.
But I didn't know, you know, he swallows the end, you know, somehow, no? That's the way he pronounces it. So that was really funny. So then I walked off, and my nose was running, my eyes were running, everything. So I was sitting there. I had no nothing there, no, and so my dress. It was amazing. It was just so beautiful, you know. And then quickly the whole thing was over, and everybody left, and I was sitting there, and I didn't want to go. No, I didn't want to go out of this space. And so the guard, and I never experienced something like that. You know, to be in this space where everything is so luminous, so clear, so silent, still full of birds. Amazing. And then slowly I went back, and everybody was out there, and whoo, and it was too much in a way, no? But what to do? They were all so happy, so I went to eat with them. And yeah, that was my taking sun, yes.